Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, gunkins and druds, County Moody Conan, Throdians, Twi'leks, the Grutas. Holy cow! This is Donald Holinet News, the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. And we got breaking news coming in today. Wowza, wowza, wowza. 2 days back-to-back of AHN episodes. One late at night, we did the Scythe kit reveal for the new Conquest Grand Inquisitor. Long story short, not really inspiring the masses, but today might be something more up your alley. Luminara getting a nice Omicron boost. It's going to plug into a lot of Jedi teams in Grand Arena on top of the and y'all been waiting for it. Supreme Eater Kylo getting some huge boost of power, but it's tied to data crons. You guys know how we feel about that, but it's here in the game. You know, it is. But the good news is they're taking dodge out of the equation here. I want to start off with a few things. We have a couple of things we got to discuss here. Grand Inquisitor, it was just added. Wow, talk about a break in time. 6-month break, but Grand Inquisitor is returning in December, which is probably going to be around the time where the Scythe is going to be unlocked. And we don't need to have a whole dissertation on the Scythe. It looks like it's going to be a good ship, but only like, I think, 4,000 people in the entire game have a Grand Inquisitor right now. And a lot of their viability is just tied to Datacrons. Like, they're only good at the Datacrons on them, are good, which is kind of a thing not exciting for when you have to put like about 2,000 Chirotechs or something like that in those folks there. Anyways, let's go look at Luminara real quick. That's the thing I'm kind of looking forward to, is discussing the Luminara Omicrons. That's one thing I do like. I've been a fan of Omicrons for the most part. Heal Master's Healing's Blessing. Oh, as you can tell, this is a character I use so much. That's why I locked in my roster without mods on Luminara. But now she's got an Omicron, which is great because it's not tied to her leader ability. It's tied to her healing ability. Luminara has not been a thing since probably 2015. There's really not been a lot of reasons to use this character. Fun early game healer, like first 20 levels. Otherwise, not that important. Let's take a look and show you what we got going on here. With this fella right here on Master's Healing Blessing, dispel all debuffs on all allies in Grand Arena. It's not tied to 3v3. It's any Grand Arena, 5v5, 3v3. So you're always going to get use out of this no matter what. Allies gain tenacity up for 2 turns. That's always great to hear. And Luminara, get this, is going to gain 50 speed for 2 turns. That's one thing about her. She's a little bit on the slow side, but I suspect you're going to likely use her with Master Luke or Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron. Being able to get all those extra speeds that those 2 Jedi have, it's kind of a big deal here. And we're not done yet. Stacks of heal over time gained from this ability trigger whenever any heal over time from this ability triggers, which is limited once per turn. So if she uses this ability, it's going to trigger all those buffs that are on them. And whenever they trigger, they also recover protection. So you're not just getting health back, you're getting protection back as well, which is something that's going to go a long way for Qui-Gon. Because what's one of the big weaknesses of a Qui-Gon Omicron? Healing immunity, which is a big deal, as well as stuns. Now imagine if you're trying to throw Bad Batch. Whoop, we just did a mass cleanse on the team, got rid of all the debuffs, and we got tenacity up. You're leaving Anakin open, and that's not bueno. And you're getting protection recovery back. And then while allies have a stack of heal over time from this ability, they have 100% critical avoidance. So it's going to be very hard to land big hits on them, and are immune to turn meter reduction. This one, I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe it's for other teams, but I'm thinking of the scope of Qui-Gon. Usually people, your best use out of a Grand Inquisitor without Datacrons is probably, you know, Qui-Gon Omicron. Hey, there you go. You're using a legendary character to take on some mishmashy Jedi things. But, you know, Bad Batch is also used Night Sisters. Hey, but still, being immune to turn meter reduction, it's kind of a big thing. You can still gain turn meter, you just can't lose turn meter, which is always great to see here. And whenever a stack of heal over time from this ability is dispelled, you're reducing the cooldown of this ability by 1. So if someone, for example, buff the spells, Echo, for example, you're going to take down this high cooldown of 5, pretty much reset it. And that's kind of a dangerous situation to be in if she's going to cleanse and give all these bonuses as well. And other allies with protection can't gain these bonuses. These stacks of heal over time expire on other allies who gain protection. So when you have protection up, you're not getting a lot. So you probably don't want to pair up with protection up type of teams. And I'm kind of thinking, like, for example, Padme. You're probably not going to get a lot of use out of a Padme, but I'm definitely seeing a lot of possibilities, for example, in a Qui-Gon Omicron team. But look at this. The great thing about this is that we're not really looking too closely at. It's not just for Jedi, and it's not tied to leader ability. She's going to be a great plug-and-play dispeller that grants tenacity up, gives speed. I mean, as you look, this isn't tied to Jedi. It's just for teams in general. So That's kind of a big deal. I know I'm thinking just in the Qui-Gon scope, but in having turn meter, immune to turn meter reduction, it's kind of a big deal they have. So this is going to probably be one of those Grand Arena plug-and-play viable characters that it's going to be interesting to have. This is definitely something that's on my radar that I want to look closer into. Not sure if I'll do it right now, but we'll see. The good thing is the next Conquest character isn't it's not a character, it's a ship, so I have a bit more flexibility with some of my Omicron spending here. Another thing I want to point out here, Ben Solo, we kind of briefly mentioned it. It's not my favorite Conquest character. It's serving a function, but there was something wrong with the damage output. It looks like they corrected, and hopefully we can start seeing damage, because from my initial testing, I wasn't seeing a lot of great damage opportunities. He was kind of more of a support role character, so be on the lookout for this here. But let's take a look at a few things here. We have our calendar. Really, the most notable thing I want to put out here is, actually, it's not in here. There's nothing too much in the calendar to point out except 3v3, all that stuff. What I want to point out is this. So we still have this. They're teasing us something. You know, it's either a bad joke, we're being trolled, or there's something serious with the red thing. We had August Burns Red, then we had the Hunt for Red October, and now they're showing the spoilers for the next Datacron set, and they highlighted R-E-D Red. There's something around the corner. What it is, anyone's guess at this point. I want to believe they're doing a Red 5 thing here, and by the end of the year, it's hard to say. Guess time will tell. I feel like the home one is oddly left vulnerable right now. I'm feeling there's going to be some sort of Red 5 thing. But let's get into this. So, despite Datacrons not being well loved in the game, there's been a request for First Order to finally get a Datacron. And would you look at that, Jabba and Supreme Leader Kylo Ren are going to be the big ticket items for this Datacron cycle of Set 5. Here's what Set 5 brings. Look at the excitement they have over at CG. I mean, to give credit, there is no dodge, but they are bringing Health Steal back. So I'd rather have Health Steal than dodge if I had to pick one of the evils out of the other. I'd rather not have either, but here's the thing. They want to monetize them, and you got to incentivize it, because why else would people want to re-roll secondary stats on these things if there's nothing too lucrative? And that's where this comes in handy for them. They can just throw in some Health Steal. So I'm mostly concerned how this is going to affect Jabba and First Order Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So taking a look at it, of course, I'll update my spreadsheet with what I think is going to be the ideal stuff for those that want to shoot for bare minimums, especially if you have a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren like my free-to-play count and many of the other guys. That's the most popular Galactic Legend, pretty much. There's a few things I'm looking at. When I'm looking at this tier 1 stuff, or tier 3, I should say, this is just a dark side list that we have. We had all light side only a few months ago. This season is solely for dark side members. The thing that's appealing to a First Order team is this right here. First time each ally is defeated, which usually happens in a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's usually the last one standing. They're getting 15% offense and 20 speed. That's going to be pretty nuts. So even if you're someone that doesn't engage in Datacrons a lot, again, I know, I feel ya, but my free-to-play account, I was able to at least engage with this at a minimal level this season. It's not hard to get a level 6 Datacron by doing nothing. I only made it to like maybe Sector 2 on normal conquest, and I do all right in territories of my guild, so I was able to at least put one together. The problem is getting what you want. That's the main issue that we all know about, but that's going to be great for Supreme Leader Kylo right there. Also, you know, this might be interesting. Special ability, 15% turn meter. Great for Imperial Troopers, so that's one thing that's going on well for at least Imperial Troopers as well as the First Order here. And turn meter on Jabba is going to be pretty nasty as well. I'm curious how that's going to pan out. Factions. Couple of interesting things here. Whenever allies stun an enemy, they're going to get speed up and offense up and inflict exposed, which is going to be nuts again on Supreme Leader Kylo. All the stuff they have going on. This is probably what people are going to be shooting for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. When we're critically hitting someone, you're getting 10% critical damage. Yikes. That is pretty disgusting. Of course, there's a lot of weird things. Retribution. Pooh. I mean, imagine Imperial Troopers of Retribution on defense. Normally, they're not great on defense, but if they're counterattacking and then they get turn meter because of the counterattacks, that could be a problem. Bounty Hunters. I know we're mostly focusing on First Order because that's probably the most applicable to you guys out there. Not everyone's sitting on a Jabba currently. His requirements aren't even completely farmable right now. We have a couple of interesting ones. It's kind of the same thing as what we saw earlier. Retribution at the start of the battle. That's going to be really deadly. And when I'm saying deadly, wait till we go down a little bit more. Embo, our Lord and Savior, is going to be a little off the chain, as we're going to see. You know what? Let's just scroll down there right away. This is the big ticket stuff here. One thing I'm noticing, unless I'm misreading this, it seems like there's not as many abilities on the tier 9 on the Datacron, which is a good thing because, like, for example, you're hunting for Lord Vader. There's one of 3 options and you might not get the one you want. So there's only 2 for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So that's nice, although you do have a couple of different first order that could be polluting the actual Datacron that you want. I wish I could just get what I want. I don't want the chance of getting what I want because usually I don't get what I want. But anyways, the biggest one that appeals to me for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is this one right here. If he's in the leader slot, and whenever an ally gains advantage, his offense is stacking. So as you can see with this, with a faction ability, all that stuff, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's going to be hitting like a monster. Even though he already hits like a monster here. First Order Stormtrooper, nothing too crazy. Getting a bonus turn when they're falling below 30% health, and it is what it is. This one's kind of interesting. The problem is you're not going to be able to have a level 9 Datacron for Supreme Leader Kylo if you do this, but if Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is in the leader slot and all allies are First Order, Hux is basically taking his leader ability and he's going to have it in the battle as a just support character. Getting dominance prevents counterattacks, which is going to be kind of a big deal for a lot of teams out there. So, hey, you know what? It's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's going to be better than having just a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Datacron if you're someone looking at that First Order Executioner. Not really crazy about that one. Phasma, I use Phasma a ton in Territory Wars, Grand Arena nowadays with all the Omicrons out there. You're going to be able to reset cooldowns at the start of each of their turns, which is crazy because Phasma's just going to keep pumping Terminator. This is going to be huge for Territory Wars. Definitely something a lot of guilds are going to be striving for, although you are going to lose some 5% health. So all the cooldown reductions that we've seen. And you got to be careful of this. This could be too much Terminator on a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team is bad. Jabba, though, they didn't wait too long to give Jabba his Datacron, did they? When Hired Muscle dispelled from an ally, they gain 20% Terminator offense up, and then Jabba gains 10% auto charge, so faster Rancor feeding times. Ugh, a little scary. And then Jabba as well, another option, gaining 15% Terminator when other allies use a special ability on their turn. So Jabba getting more turns up there. It's kind of a problem, but hey, a good set of days should stop that here. But check this out. Holy cow. Embo. We've been singing a lot of praise about Embo. It's crazy to see that everyone's getting on the Embo hype train. He's a big deal in Territories, Grand Arena, probably one of these. I'd say the second best, third best. Leia and Chrysanthemum are kind of the must-haves. I think Embo's kind of more important than Lando, in my opinion. But look at this. At the start of battle, 90% of Embo's health is converted into protection. And if Embo has protection to start that turn, he can't be defeated. One, that's going to be tricky. He's one of the harder members to kill on the team because you can't critically hit him already. Secondly, he already hits for a lot of damage. On the Kyozo Warhelmet, he gets bonus damage based off his protection. And he recovers lots of protection as well. This is going to be... the problem is, it's hard to say, but I kind of wonder if maybe the Embo level 9 is better than going for a Jabba level 9 for the team here. Unfortunately, Cad Bane, nothing too appealing to me. Oracing, kind of like a Zam Wessel type thing, extra damage opportunities here. Greedo getting lots of bonus turns. Really, as you guys know, Datacrons, unless you're spending 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 on a season, you're not getting every one of these. I don't get every one of these. Basically, the ones that I'm looking for are maybe like a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, a Phasma, and then maybe something for Jabba. That's kind of what I'm aiming for this season. But we have to see if it's going to be in the forces of RNG, if they're going to bestow upon such a nice cause on me. And then one other thing here, login reward for for this next month is going to be Bad Batch Hunter. Does it mean something? I don't know. I'll let you guys answer that question. And by the way, another weird thing, November Sky. There's always something weird going on here. I'm curious to see if this red thing does inevitably lead anywhere. But you guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Luminara Omicron, I think that's going to be a solid win right there. Question is, do you have her geared up and you can utilize it? But I love the fact she's going to be a plug-and-play Grand Arena character. Mass cleanse, tenacity up, ways of healing up the team a lot more frequently and getting frequent cleanses. That's going to be kind of a big deal here. Grand Inquisitor, my gosh, 6 months for the release here. And then Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I know a lot of people have been wanting to see Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, arguably one of the best bang for buck Galactic Legends in the game. And probably one of the best Galactic Legends overall still to this day, even without a lifter. People were hoping for a lifter in this next conquest. It isn't happening, but I don't think he really needs a lifter. He's still really up to par with the current stuff and Galaxy Sphere. So, pass the gun over to you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are because you guys, each and every one of you, plays a core role in keeping this empire functioning, keeping the wheels of progress turning. And at the end of the day, I know when you're laying your head at night, you all are always whispering, dang, it's great to be in the empire today.